What's up, guys? So Edgar and I are probably going on one of our most ambitious trips we have decided to do this coming weekend. So I need to prepare my truck. Part of that has been some new modifications to the truck, which have actually, some of them have been on the truck for a long time. I just haven't recorded a video, and I'll show you. So I actually put these on months ago, and at the same time, I got a winch and a light bar and a bumper. So those have been on for a while. I haven't really recorded a video for a while. But those have been on the truck. I've been on about a few trips with them. Haven't actually used any of them yet. Hoping I don't have to use them this weekend. But we're going on the most ambitious trip we've ever done. I'm going to leave it up to the next video when we actually do the trip. But the other thing I've done is new tires. I did not lift my truck. These are slightly bigger. They're an inch bigger than what I used to have from the factory. It's the biggest size you can fit without a lift. And I just don't want to lift my truck yet. So this video, I'm preparing for the trip, mounting the rear awning back up because I actually re-drilled the brackets. So if you remember, I drilled these out, these two holes, in my rear awning mounting video. And I did it with a hand drill and really bad bits. And since doing this, the awning in the back moves around quite a bit. It has a lot of up and down movement, and I realized I can use the third hole. So with the 6.5 foot awning, I got new brackets. Took it over to my girlfriend's father's house, where he has a drill press, and I have a really good bit. So I drilled out the farther holes to hopefully provide more stability to the rear awning. So I need to remount that. And then check every bolt, nut on the rack, because gotta check that stuff. Gotta make sure it doesn't come loose. Another addition to the truck is Max Tracks. I only have a pair right now. I'm hoping to get a couple more in the future. And then the next addition is going to be my shovel and axe. So with that, I've got these to mount. Quick Fist. They're recommended by other overlanders locally, so I gave them a try. I got the shovel mounted already. I waited for the video to mount the axe. The shovel's mounted. It's just a bolt through. I had to go up by the hardware, and then it just comes around here, and it's pretty sturdy. The axe is going to go on top here. It's a really cheap shovel from Lowe's. It's about $15. And the axe is about 30 bucks. Again, pretty good. Now their latest addition is these lights. These are from Tough Stuff. They actually use a 12 volt, but I got a 12 volt to USB, confirmed they work with my battery. So I can actually, what I'm going to do is put these on the rear awning, strung up, and hook them into the lights that with the tent. So we're using the same battery pack, hook them up so I can have the tent lights and the awning light all in one power package. Eventually, when I get a different truck, when I have a new battery or second battery, which I plan on getting on a second truck, everything will be wired into the truck. And I also will put LED like fog lights in the back off the rack to provide even more light when night camping. Because this weekend we will be rolling up into camp at night. It's just how we're planning it, because we want to start the 160-mile trail early in the morning on Saturday. We have a few days off of work, so we're going to do that. So now I got to get this truck ready to go. So first things first, I'm going to mount the axe. So ignore the dirty bench. Just haven't had time to clean. This is all my hardware from tent stuff. So I have a lot of extra hardware for that. So the Quick Fists, you have to buy hardware for these. So what I did was I picked up some of these M6 bolts I have a lot of leftover M6 nuts from the awnings and assortment of washers. But with these, they actually recommend a smaller bolt, like a M10, not like standard metric. So these don't actually go in these holes for these washers that sit in a place right here. So what I've been doing is just kind of threading them in here, which I do thread in, and then shoving them in. I'm putting them in just like that. So that is strong enough, and actually when I tighten these up on the truck, I don't even need to hold that. Stupid flies. So that is how I'm doing that. And on the back side, I have a nice big washer to ensure they don't go anywhere. And that's all I'm doing. It's pretty simple. These might be slightly too long for what I need, but it's okay, they work. Alright, so what I'm doing here is I found 2 points on the axe. I put the quick grips on the 2 points I really want to put them. And then I'm taking and putting them in to approximately where I want them to go. So I'm thinking something like that is where I want it to be. And I can actually probably do something like that, or can move these, I think right there and right there. So now I can remove the axe. I have approximately where I want these quick grips to be. It's going to be right here. And right there. So now I just got to get the nuts, put them in the back with the washers, and tighten them up. Alright, well, lesson learned there. I actually pulled this guy all the way through the plastic washer and the rubber because I went a little bit too crazy on the impact driver there. But I put a little flat washer in there and it worked out just good. I didn't go too crazy. So the rubber smushed a little bit, but it's also sturdy. Same thing with this one. I don't think I did that on these because they're very solid. And I didn't go crazy on those. So, gotta get the axe up here. So as you saw, there's a pretty solid mounting in there. They're not going anywhere. both the shovel and the axe are stable. Again, quick fists. I have this one going up and these going down, so they're easily accessed and they're out of the way. Also, wanted to show what I did for the max tracks. Because I have a 12-inch track, and because I needed them to clear the tent, we had to get, I can barely see them, put spacers between the RCI max track mounts and there. And then we had to cut the pin bolt to clear there. Because as you can see, that is very close. Very close. I actually may have scratched my truck a little bit. But these are also solid. And I checked clearance. The tent will open with those in place. So that is also really freaking cool. I do know RCI is working on a better system for the max tracks. Just wasn't available when I bought these. Okay, now for the fun part. I gotta check every single nut and bolt on this rack. I have noticed a couple of nuts actually come loose before. After our big trip in Grand Mesa, we were going down about 10 miles of really bad washboard. And I noticed that week some of the nuts were loose. Not all of them, there's a couple. But before this trip, I'm gonna check everything because I don't want anything coming loose. And I'll check it again about halfway down the trail we're going down. And yeah, so I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna mount the awning back up. Well, glad I did this. And a bolt shear right away. Luckily, this isn't a problem. Just need some friends. So, these brackets supplied by RCI to use the rail system on Tacomas are man-made, man-drilled. So these bolts, they had a run of them when I got my rack that had some issues, and they redid them. They actually provided me with 3 extras because I broke one when I first put on the rack. Luckily, I have 2 extras. It's hot. Anyways, I'm gonna finish bolting this up because those bottom 2 bolts on the awning are a pain in the ass. Luckily, it looks like it's pretty centered. Just looking at it, actually when I had it in the back of my truck, these 2 bolts didn't move at all. So it should actually be centered. If it's not, it may only be off by an inch or 2. Oh well. Anyways, Edgar's gonna come over and help me out with that one bracket. I'm hoping we won't need to take off anything off this rack. All we'll need to do is remove all the mounts on this side and just pick it up enough, slide that guy in there, put it down, and that'll be it. Fingers crossed. He'll be over here tomorrow. We're gonna take care of that. Won't be on video. I will see you guys on the trail. This video will be out, I don't know, probably not before we leave, but soon, and then coming up after this video will be the trip. Thank you very much for watching. Come back and watch the trip.